Elite Facts presents
7 strange food myths we still believe.
7.
Organic food is automatically healthy, so anything deemed organic genuinely gets a free pass. Like everything with the label is automatically good for you. The truth be told, however, is that organic snacks are still snacks, meaning they can still potentially be bad for you. Eating them in excess isn't suddenly okay because they meet the requirements for an organic label. As Carolyn Kaufman, RD, told Self, quote, "Organic chocolate syrup is still chocolate syrup. Organic cookies, crackers, chips, and candies have the same amount of sugar, fat, and empty calories as non-organic versions. When it comes to produce, choosing organic versions of the dirty dozen, the foods that typically have the highest amount of pesticides on them, is a good way to cut back on chemical exposure." But Kaufman adds that conventionally grown produce is still safe to eat since it's monitored to ensure pesticide residue stays below a certain limit.
6.
Milk makes your bones stronger. Remember, Billy, drink your milk and you'll grow up to be just as strong as your father. Well, we hate to break it to you, little Billy, but it's not milk that's making your dad so strong. He might need a drug test. So everyone knows that drinking milk helps strengthen your bones, allowing you to grow up big and strong. After all, calcium is good for you and milk is rich in calcium. The truth, however, may be a bit more convoluted than that, unfortunately. Sweden's Uppsala University recently released the results of a huge study following 61,400 women and 45,300 men. Researchers spent years tracking the diet of both groups, then monitored the women's health for a further 20 years and the men's health for 11 years. The results from the experiment revealed that drinking milk was associated with higher mortality rates for both sexes and higher chances of bone fractures for female consumers. Women who drank at least 3 glasses of milk a day were twice as likely to have died by the end of the study, and 50% more likely to have suffered a hip fracture. During an interview with the BBC, the head of this research project, Carl Michelson, suggested that the results could be explained by milk sugars, lactose and galactose, which have been shown to accelerate aging processes like inflammation and oxidative stress. What's interesting about this experiment is that while drinking lots of milk seemed to increase the likelihood of a bone fracture, study participants who ate lots of yogurt and other fermented dairy products actually were much less likely to sustain a bone fracture. Fermentation is known to significantly decrease the lactose content of dairy products. Meanwhile, scientists at Harvard University reviewed 25 years of data and concluded that there is no significant evidence to suggest that drinking milk helps keep people safe from osteoporosis. There are also concerns that heavy milk intake may increase the risk of prostate and ovarian cancer. The university's School of Public Health cautions against the currently recommended 2 to 3 glasses of milk a day, a level of consumption which has not been shown to reduce bone problems and probably comes with increased health risks. According to Harvard, a glass of milk every day or so is indeed a good source of calcium, but anything more than that is probably just overkill.
5.
Egg yolks are bad for you. Whoever told you this is a liar, a damn dirty liar. So the myth comes from the belief that dietary cholesterol raises our blood cholesterol levels. This is false, as it's become clearer that saturated fats and trans fats are more influential in raising blood cholesterol levels. And while eggs, the yolks included, are high in cholesterol, they are relatively low in saturated fats. Lots of research has been done in recent years, and the verdict is that the entire egg can actually be a part of a healthy diet, and in most people do not significantly impact cholesterol levels or heart disease risk.
4.
Natural sugar is better than added sugar. Yeah, we hate to break it to you, but it kind of isn't. To put it simply, sugar is still sugar. On a molecular level, the sugar in an apple is the same as the sugar you spoon into your coffee cup. There can be a difference in how our bodies break down the sugar when it's combined with other nutrients like fiber and protein, but simply being natural doesn't cut it. Sugar in a whole fruit comes with fiber and helps slow digestion and prevent blood sugar spikes. Now, admittedly, that is better than sugar that comes void of other nutrients. However, when you squeeze out the juice and drink it, or eat maple syrup, agave syrup, or honey, your body reacts the same way it would to table sugar or the sugar in a normal can of full-fat Coke.
3,
Energy drinks energize you. So it turns out that energy drinks false advertise their products. Didn't see that coming. Yep, somehow that doesn't seem unsurprising. Despite the name, energy drinks are a very ineffective way of giving yourself energy. Most energy drinks are a mixture of sugar and caffeine, with an amino acid called taurine thrown in for good measure. Some also contain a South American plant called guarana, but that's actually just another source of caffeine. A few energy drinks boast of including ginseng and B vitamins, but they typically don't contain enough of either to have any real impact. Since the supposed effects of taurine on concentration and athletic performance remain controversial, it's hard to assess its inclusion in energy drinks. When you boil it all down, the only major ingredients in these drinks are caffeine and sugar. Sugar does give you a short energy burst, but it doesn't last long and is usually followed by a crash. So, to put it simply, all you're really doing is you're simply borrowing energy from yourself in the future. As you'd probably expect, heavy sugar consumption is also strongly associated with weight gain and other health problems. Studies have also shown that people who consume 2 to 3 energy drinks per day, seriously, how can you guys do that? It's almost impressive, might be getting as much as 4 to 6 times their recommended daily sugar allowance from the drinks alone. Caffeine is more effective at giving a feeling of increased energy without a severe crash afterward, but unfortunately you have to drink a lot of it to get the full energizing effects, which is why energy drinks are usually packed with it. That's a problem, since one of the ways caffeine boosts energy is by blocking the adenosine receptors in your brain, preventing feelings of sleepiness. These effects can last up to 12 hours, meaning that heavy caffeine usage can cause you to get insomnia. It's also associated with high blood pressure and an increased heart rate. So instead of risking your health by consuming energy drinks in order to energize yourself, all we can really recommend for you is to start following a good diet plan, exercise regularly, and adapt an adequate sleep pattern. And if you need a little boost on top of that, then the occasional energy drink certainly won't kill you.
2,
Low-fat variations are better than the full-fat versions. If you're still buying low-fat varieties of naturally fatty foods, you might be doing yourself a disservice. Caroline Kaufman, RD, reassures us that, quote, fat is a necessary part of a healthy diet. You need fat in your diet. Fat is not bad. Fat does not go directly to your hips. Any extra calories you eat that your body can't use can be converted into body fat, not just dietary fat. Fat is more densely caloric, though, which is both a blessing and a curse. Kaufman goes on to say that, quote, because fat is so rich in calories, it is also very satisfying. That's good because ideally it means you could mindfully eat or use a small amount to feel full. This also means you need to watch your portion sizes. When fat is removed from foods, it's usually replaced by sugar or salt, so it's important to read the ingredients list before choosing the adulterated version. Usually, you're better off eating a small serving of the full-fat kind so you can actually enjoy it and feel satiated.
1,
Margarine is 1,000,000 times better than butter. Come on, we've never understood this. Sure, margarine is slightly better than butter, but the fact that people would throw a tantrum if you bought butter instead of margarine is just ridiculous. Sorry, mother, but it's true. Anyway, margarine is definitely better for you when compared to butter. However, many different brands of margarine actually contain trans fats, which are worse for you than the naturally occurring saturated fat in butter. Butter's ingredient list is short and sweet and doesn't contain extra ingredients to make up for lack of taste. Not all fake butter is bad, but you have to be cautious about what you're buying. Are there any other strange food myths that you know of? Well, let us know about them in the comments section below, and thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.